Today I'm going to be painting the windshield wiper arms off my 1996 Ford F-150. I'm just going to go over the steps with you, how I do this and the best paint to use that I found to do this with. First thing you want to do is remove the arms from your vehicle. Different makes and models, they come off differently. On this truck, you lift the arm up like you're going to change windshield wiper blades. You take like a little flathead screwdriver, pull this little clip up, and it slides this little locking band down. It'll come up off that spline, off the drive of the windshield wipers, and it'll just slide right off. Some vehicles, it has a little cover right here you take off, and it has like a 10-12 millimeter nut that you take off, and it'll come right off. Good idea to do before you remove them. Take maybe like a piece of chalk or soap or maybe even a permanent marker you can clean off kind of easy, and mark where the windshield wiper blades line up on the windshield, so when you got to put everything back together you can have them lined up the way they came off. Before you paint them, you want to do some prep work on them so the paint will adhere to it better. If you have some that's real rusted real bad and stuff, start off with some 300 grit sandpaper, clean that rust off, then go over it with like 600 grit sandpaper, finer sandpaper, to smooth it out. These don't have any surface rust on them, they're just faded out and stuff. I'm just going to take some double-aught steel wool, which is real fine. It's going to give me a smooth finish, but it's going to roughen up that old paint enough, etch in it, to where the new paint will stick to it better. Just going to go over everything on it that I'm going to be painting. This double-aught steel wool, it'll clean the surface up real good. It's going to be smooth, but at the same time you're putting just enough etching into it to where that new paint's going to adhere to it good. Especially around the corners and the edges and stuff. And up here it's just got some primer showing, but it's no rust. So I'm going to get that real good. After I'm done with the sanding on them, I'm going to take me a little lacquer thinner on the blue paper towel, shop towel, and clean the surface up real good, to clean any dirt or any oil or grease or anything that may be on them that would make the paint come off and not stick to it good. Just take a little bit, about like that, and just clean the surface up real good. The thing about using lacquer thinner, it's not going to, if you use water or something to clean them, if you've done a lot of heavy sanding and stuff, you may want to clean it in water, soapy water, and then if they have any surface rust that comes up on it, that's the thing, if you use water on it after you sand it, they may get a little surface rust on any bare metal spots, and you have to take a little, maybe like some steel wool, and clean that little light surface rust off. But going over it with the lacquer thinner beforehand, it's going to make sure the surface is clean. Lacquer thinner also evaporates very quickly, so it's not going to take very long for the surface to dry. You see all that black stuff that's coming off of it right now. You want to keep doing this until you got the surface nice and clean. You're not getting all that crud off of it anymore. Before I paint them, I'm going to stick a piece of paper towel in the spline area where it attaches to the drive shaft. Keep paint from getting in there, and if you get a lot of paint in there and it builds up in the splines, it's going to be really hard, if not impossible, to put these back on. So I'm just going to stuff it in there like that. Make sure them splines are covered up good. But as you see, I'm not covering this ridge around here because I want to be able to get paint on this where it don't rust up around the bottom of it and start chipping the rest of the paint off. Just doing that right there is going to protect them splines. The best paint I've found to use on windshield wiper arms is engine enamel paint. Because the windshield reflects so much heat up from the sun and all, I found if you just use just basic cheap black spray paint, it'll fade very quickly and it won't last long. But I've had really good luck using engine enamel paint. It's designed for heat up to 500 degrees, so the heat coming off that windshield from the sun isn't going to bake that paint off like cheap paint. I'm going to be using semi-gloss black. Shake the can up really good for a minute or two. The key to doing this is, I'm going to start at the bottom side and do the bottom sides first, but the key is do a few very light coats instead of one or two real heavy coats. That'll keep the paint from running. So I'm just going to start off and just put a light coat on it. Then I'll let that coat dry for about 15 minutes. Put a second coat on it and see how it looks. 2 or 3 light coats on something like this, if you ain't had to strip all the paint off of it, will probably be more than sufficient. Alright, I've done 3 light coats on this side. It dried really good. See, that looks pretty decent. Now I'm going to flip them over and paint the other side. Kind of see the before right there on this side. And that's the after. So I'm going to flip them over on these sides. Put a few light coats on these sides. And I'm going to do a couple coats, and I'm going to flip them around on my workbench and do the other side so I can get all the way around them real good. I put a couple coats on it this way. I'm just going to turn around this way. So my next couple coats to get this side real good. It looked like I got it pretty good. I want to make sure I get it fully covered. See right there, it's kind of hard for me to get back there and get to it the way it was positioned. Probably one more little light coat and these will be done. Here you can see the final product. I'm by no means a professional painter, but that looks pretty good considering. It's one of the little details you can do to enhance the appearance of your vehicle, especially since you're staring at these all the time because they're right there at your windshield where you're driving at. Like I said, it's easy to do, it's quick, it only takes just a little bit of time. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel.